everyone, my name is Marion and today I'm here with my summer wrap-up. In July and August I started out with finishing Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is part of the Red Rising read-along hosted by Leanna's Library and the Novelage, and I really enjoyed the first two books, Red Rising and Golden Sun, I think, and Morning Star is the third book in the series, and I enjoyed the second book best, I must say. The third book was a little easier to put down in between. It doesn't give that much of a fluent read for me, and I still enjoyed it though. I think I give it 4 stars or something, but you know, it was a nice ending and it actually sort of concluded the series, and I would have been happy just keeping it a trilogy, but there is a sequel, well, I don't know if you call it sequel, there is more of the series, and that is Iron Gold, which I'm currently reading. I haven't been able to finish that this summer because I read more books. And let me just start out with the series that I finished by a Dutch fantasy writer, Kokkie van Dijk, and she wrote the series Drakenzielig, like translated into Dragon Solar or something, but it's only in Dutch. I don't think it's translated into English, but I gave all of these books 5 stars. I really enjoyed them, and I was actually a bit I didn't know if I would enjoy them before I started reading them, because I read a book about dragons before by a Belgian writer, and there was so much lacking in writing style and fluency, and I don't know. I enjoyed the story, but there was just something missing, and I didn't really have that here. Although that wasn't exactly perfect, there were some things that I noticed, but they didn't really bother me that much. I just ignored those really little things, and I just enjoyed the story. It was so original, and I haven't read anything like this before, how the dragons interact with humans and everything. There was the only things that really bothered me a little were that some things in the first book felt a bit rushed. There could have been, well, a couple of more sentences would have done the job, I think. But overall it was a nice story, and well, if you are looking for something with action and stuff, you should know there's also a lot of romantic stuff going on in this book, or in the series actually. A bit of a drama, a bit of romance, and I actually, what I actually missed sometimes was Fenna is the main character here, and she goes into the Dragon's Keep to study, to become a Dragon Solar, and she appears to be one of a couple students, and I just miss a lot of other students that are there, but we get nothing about them. If you want to compare it to another schooling system like Hogwarts, you get to see a lot more of the students in that in the school. But here it's just, oh yeah, there are other students, or yeah, I have to go to classes, and there are, well, I'm just missing that a bit. Although in the next books you get to see a couple of more in the second book and the third book, but it's still mostly about Fenna and her romantic companion. It's been a little while since I read them, so I have a really terrible memory. I forgot the names, but these are definitely worth reading, and he also has a series to continue on with this, but it isn't really necessary to I think it isn't really necessary to know these books for that. I don't think it's really necessary to have read these books. You can read her other series just separately, but Fenna is in that one also, and I really want to pick that up next time next time I see the writer, because I also have all of these books signed by the author. I just think that is really I just like that it is a bit personal, so I'm just gonna show you. See, this is a nice signed book. Okay, so since I like binge reading series or trilogies, the next series that I read was the Reckless series by Cornelia Funk. These are 3 books. There are supposed to be more in the future, and I don't know when that is. I mainly bought these because I like the covers. I find them really pretty, like this, and the green one, and the blue one. And I was postponing reading these because, well, I found them interesting when I read what they were about, when I added them to my wish list, and then I just bought them without knowing, because I forgot what they were about. So I was postponing it because it appeared interesting to me when I put them on the list, but not so much when I had them. But still, I made myself start reading, and I gave these books 3 stars. I liked the third one a little bit better. I gave that one 4 stars. But it was a fun read. Nothing to say about that. So they were a fun read, but there are better books out there which I gave 5 stars. So this is about... I am really have a terrible memory. This is about Jacob, and he discovers the mirror world, like another world through a mirror, which is basically like the same countries with sometimes different names, and more like a Middle Age setting with magic and I can't get to the word. Well, magical creatures, let's just say that. And well, it started out when he discovered this mirror world, and I thought, oh look, we are gonna discover this world as he goes along. No, that was just a prologue, and then you just get 12 years later and he has spent 12 years in the mirror world, and you have to just get into it, and that was a bit hard for me. It took me a while to just get acquainted with the world building, and that was a bit a slow read. Maybe the reason I like the third book a bit more, because I give it 4 stars, is because you anticipate something in the first book, and you know, oh yeah, she's gonna tell you about this eventually, but you don't know when, and that is in the third book, and I was really looking forward to that, so I'm glad that I continued on. But actually, when you finish the second book, you could just say it's a duology. I don't need to read the third book to know what will happen, because the second book just ends quite well for me, and I really don't need to know what happens next. But you know, there's a third book, and I had already bought it, so it would be a shame not to read it. So I read it, and now I have to wait until the fourth book to continue. So that is Cornelia Funk's series Reckless. Maybe I should name the titles: The Petrified Flesh, Living Shadows, and The Golden Yarn. So this was my favorite of the series. The only other book that I finished this summer was Harry Potter and a History of Magic. this took me a really long time to get through because it's more like information and I read it before sleeping, so this book really made me tired and it really helped me fall asleep, I must say. Although everything that was said was interesting, but I had really expected more of a Hogwarts textbook than this. This is more like what J.K. Rowling might have based her books on, and well, I was really expecting more just like well, a Hogwarts textbook. I really would have liked that. Why don't you people make that? And I'm hoping that Fantastic Beasts will be what I expect it to be, but I hope to be getting to that one soon. So that was my summer wrap up and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one.